Today's essay is called Real ID Fake Patients. Is my entire identity fake? That's the question that kept bouncing around in my head every time somebody reminded me you need to get your real ID. Real ID? The wording is unsettling. Like, okay, what have I been carrying around all these years? A fake ID? Because if my birth certificate from Tennessee, which I had to fight the State Department for like I was trying to adopt myself, my passport, which I used to get my real ID, and the original driver's license I've had, are all invalid now, then what is real? The deadline is May 7th. I remember because I Googled it in a minor panic spiral and decided then, exactly a month ago, I'd better book my appointment at the DMV, which, if I'm being honest, should stand for doesn't move very fast. I added a letter. My appointment was set for 2:40 p.m. We live about 10 to 15 minutes away. The night before, Tim was supposed to come with me, but then I found out that he had double booked himself, so I was on my own. And truthfully, I'd rather go to the dentist than go to the DMV, which, coincidentally, I'm going to the dentist on Monday. My teeth have been aching, and you're probably going to hear about that saga next week. Okay, back to the DMV. I left the house at 2:15, confident that I had plenty of time to drive, park, and mentally prepare myself. Let me clarify myself. I don't mind driving. What I hate is parking, especially in LA. Parking here is a sport, an Olympic event. Before you go anywhere, the first question you ask is, do they have parking? I pulled into the DMV lot at 2:29 and drove in hopeful circles for 10 minutes. No spots. None. I was starting to sweat. My blood pressure was doing that thing where it subtly suggests a stroke. Then, like divine intervention, I spotted someone walking to their car. I hovered, I waited, I prayed. And when they pulled out, I swooped in like a hawk with anxiety issues. I got inside, stood in the line for appointments, and received my number. The waiting room was packed, wall-to-wall people and paperwork, and the collective sigh of bureaucracy. I made a mental note. Next time, check the calendar for holidays before booking. There was an older couple sitting near me, talking about a restaurant I'd actually been to. I considered joining in. Ah, yes, their scallops are surprisingly tender. But no. Just no. Then the man got up, and that's when it happened. Panic. The woman looked right at me. And, well, I'd like to say that I got up and ran, but I didn't. I froze. Next thing I know, she's telling me everything, like I was her long-lost nephew or her therapist with no billing rate. She came yesterday but forgot a form. She had to come back today. Her birthday's next week. Her son's is too. Her grandkid's birthday is today. Meanwhile, there was a disabled man in a wheelchair that was being rolled around the waiting room and screaming at the top of his lungs. And all I could think was, same, my friend, same. I wish I could scream like that with no judgment and no consequences. Honestly, I think we all did. Eventually, her number was called and I was free. Mine came up about an hour after I arrived, and thank God for making an appointment. I walked up to the window and handed the guy my stack of very real documents. Trying to lighten the mood, I said, "You must have a lot of patience to work here." He glanced up, deadpan, and said, "We do our best." I was sent to take a photo. Then they sent me to Station 23. I looked up, and it said, "Driving Test Appointments." I had an immediate internal crisis. Was I about to take a driving test? Luckily, the woman just handed me a receipt and said my license would come in the mail. It took 2 hours. 2 hours to prove that I am, in fact, real. And I still don't fully believe it.